We have cocktails, we do beer, we do a little bit of wine, some cider. You can do tastings, and then you can ultimately walk out here with a bottle. So that's kind of our...
And can I take that home? Like, can you buy one of those?
Yeah, so these are kind of like nice Christmas presents.
Yeah, those are awesome. I've never, ever seen anything like that for sale. Now, I'm granted not around a lot of distilleries, but is that common to buy something like this? That's really cool.
So there's a couple other places that sell stuff like this. And then you can do this, and you can buy like 6 bottles that you can take home and age, so.
Oh, that's a great, like, take home. I love the little plug, too, and the little...
Yeah, so you can actually just drink right out of it at home.
So now, when did you build this? You built this 2 years ago?
So the bar has been here since we opened originally.
Okay.
But I lifted the whole bar up, moved it over 1.5 feet. So I get my cooler back here. I get a back bar in here. I put a sink in.
Is there any blood in here?
Not right now.
I know. Just kidding. So where did you acquire this?
So there was actually a business downtown. It was an old restaurant that this was just sitting out back of, and it wasn't working. And he was just going to throw it out or scrap it, so I bought it from him. Originally, I was going to make a smoker out of it, but...
It's an awesome, like, conversation piece. I'm sure you're like...
A lot of people talk about that.
All right, enough. I got it. You know, it's cool. But it's really unique. And like I said, they have one at Quags and the Bark Inn in Westfield. And then Nickel Plate, I think, has one as well. So.
Yeah, there's one in the gin mill downtown, and Madigan's too.
They were common at one point, but they're harder and harder to find.
Right.
So
that's because Jewett Refrigeration was out of Buffalo. That's
oh,
who made
really?
those,
Okay.
Yeah.
So a local company and supplied everybody around here. But the bar is awesome. We got a copper top on this thing.
Yeah. So a friend of mine actually bent this for me. I built the bar, but he wrapped it. I mean, we built it. I put the, I built the wood frame, but then he wrapped it for me.
It's beautiful. And it's fitting for a distillery, right?
Yeah, so I figure, like, it's copper and stainless back there. It's copper and stainless up front here. But then I have a lot of clashing wood and stuff in here, too, so it doesn't make
Well, it's a great room.
It doesn't fit any one, genre.
Well, and the fact that you kept the top open, I thought was real nice, too. You didn't close this off.
I do eventually want to do that, actually, because I would like to have that for storage above.
Ah. Well, that works. You'd have a nice storeroom up there.
Right, and then I could kind of keep this more of a its own kind of rustic atmosphere.
Right.
I have like an idea for lighting and stuff we could do in here.
Well, and the building itself, I mean, it was a godsend to have it. I mean, you didn't have to. You just basically came in and retrofitted the interior. You didn't have to
for the most
worry
part,
about.
like there was another overhead door here. That's what that was. That was actually a 14-foot overhead. We took that out, wired that all up.
Nice, and windows are perfect though. Obviously.
Yeah, and I got those, actually. Those came out of a greenhouse, so I got all that glass for free.
You did?
Yeah. So my cousin and I built the wall in a day.
No kidding.
We framed it up, and then it took a couple extra months to get it. Like, we drywalled it, no problem. A buddy of mine came in and wired it all up. And then Jermaine and I did the trim work and put the glass in. And
the table, did you build this?
No, so a friend of mine from Franklinville built it. I told him, hey, it's like right out of his... I
mean, this is almost, as you guys expand, like this is a really cool to have like a few of these where people can sit around.
Yeah, this idea came out of his head. All I did is I said, George, I took him a barrel. I was like, George, I don't want it standing up how you see normal tables. I want it laying down, like in a cradle.
And that was it?
And this was I just wanted something like a drink rail.
That thing's diesel, too.
It's all white oak, too.
Thank God. It's awesome. So now, when you come back here, when you're open for business, this isn't open to the public, obviously.
No, just the restrooms. We just go straight back for the restroom when we're open.
So now we have our barrels, which we talked about. Now, what's in those again?
This is all bourbon. Everything's
bourbon
here except for that top left barrel is bourbon. That's actually honey spirit. I filled that a week ago.
Now, you said the honey spirit, that's new, right?
No, that was our third product out, actually. So it was the vodka, the corn whiskey came out at the same time, and then the honey spirit came out as an aged spirit.
Did you just have like a knack for doing this? I mean, it's difficult.
Yeah, I did. I think I did kind of have a knack, yeah. It was a kind of a...
It's because it's by, I mean, a lot of this is your...
yeah, it's all just trial and error on my own account and trying not to waste people's money. So I tried to make it good the first time.
Yeah, but that always doesn't happen.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, you can definitely, I think it was just the years of doing it on my own still, and I kind of I figured out how to fine tune that, and I did a lot of reading. It's amazing what you can read online anymore.
So as a distiller, there's kind of like this black art to it. Like you can say, okay, here's my base ingredients, but if you took 10 distillers, you're going to have 10 different products.
Right. I'd say for sure. Yeah. And it all boils down to your distillation technique. I mean, some people focus more on the way they ferment it, but I'm more interested in how you change it from a liquid to a vapor back to a liquid.
And that's the process.
Right. So distillation is actually separation. So you're separating one substance from another. That's what distilling is. So what happens, this all goes in as a liquid. Then as you heat it up, you distill it. So what happens is that the alcohol boils at a lower temperature than water. So the alcohol will turn to a vapor and rise off of what this is, your mash. And then as the vapors, you push your vapors through these stainless steel lines. And that's where you can get more condensed alcohol in this center tower, or you can bypass it and go right to the condenser right there and have it just distilled once.
And okay. So I've never seen one of these. I've never seen a distiller. So a still.
Still, yeah.
So now when they advertise, that's what you hear a lot, right? It's single or double.
Right, double, yeah, or like a triple pot distillation.
Right. So, is the degree of difficulty harder as you progress through the distillation process?
No, it's just more condensed.
It is.
So what happens, so like you start with like a 10% mash here, you got 500 gallons, you're gonna end up with roughly, 100 gallons if I bypass the column. If I go through the column, you're gonna get like a more condensed 50 gallons.
Okay.
So it'd be a higher proof alcohol, but less water in it, so it's higher proof. So it's higher strength alcohol.
When you told people you were gonna do this, they were like, dude, you're nuts.
And I still don't think people like truly understand what I'm doing out here. I think they still think I'm doing this like out of my
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't think they have any idea what we're actually doing out here. And that we're like serious business. This isn't just like some backwoods hillbilly. It's a hurdle.
Yeah,
we don't do food here. That's another thing. Is without food, a lot of people don't want to come here because they're just afraid that I'm going to be, pouring, high-test moonshine down their throat, which is like the farthest thing from the truth. Like
people are.
Yeah, well, they have these the stigmas about well, you're going to go to a distillery, you're going to drink a moonshine, or you make a moonshine. And everybody just associates moonshine.
Dude, I know. It's crazy. Like, how do you bust that? Well, you are.
I think you
are.
Yeah.
And I think so listen, that's kind of our grandparents and our parents. Your business and you as a person who's making this is a different business now. This isn't what the stigma that my grandparents and my parents would attach to this.
Right. Like
we understand, I think, spirits is a different thing. And it's more of a casual, it's not that. It's, we understand we can go to a distillery, we can go to the tasting room in the distillery, and we're just gonna sip some awesome bourbon, some awesome whiskey. We don't need to get lit.
To drink white lightning out of a mason jar,
and part of this is the product lines that you're introducing lend themselves to that experience.
Right.
You're not drinking moonshine.
Right. No, and that's why I'm getting away from the corn whiskey, because I want to put a whiskey, just an American whiskey label on it, because everybody sees corn whiskey and they immediately associate that with moonshine.
Right.
Or corn, 100% corn whiskey, which is terrible.
But the impression a lot of people get is we're drinking, like a mash type of, it's for that, it's getting lit. But there's a whole sensibility now built into this industry.
Right, and there's more education, and especially with like the laws being relaxed a bit. You're not dealing with that like prohibition style,
Right.
Like, oh.
Yeah. And and the fact that you're coming up with these awesome combinations of products, it lends itself to that type of sipping and casual.
Yeah, but even like the cocktails, you put together a nice cocktail list, people can come in and that's what a lot of people take the cocktail list home with them. They're like, I want to try and replicate this at home, or here's some ideas that you can do at home,
Did you guys ever think about publishing a little book, maybe?
We do. So we have like
you do?
We do have it, yeah.
Oh,
so that's
awesome.
why like our fall winter list is coming out. Actually, I just emailed the guy, so I should have him today, tomorrow if I wanted.
So this industry, so if you want to really think about it in a way, you and probably a good 100 other small distilleries are changing what this industry is and what the national, international impression of a distiller is, because you're making these higher end, custom branded products that speak to a palate that is not the palate that my grandpa corn whiskey. I mean, that was about getting drunk, and it was about hanging out with your buddies. And this is more of a social, long-term style business than that.
Right.
You know, and I think you have changed, all of you as a collective group have changed that for our generations already. And the way that your brand, I mean, you just look at that and you know it's not
chintzy.
Yeah. So, so this you had from day one, right? We're looking at this still.
Yeah, so the still, the mash tank, both fermenters right here. This all came from Germany.
It did?
Yeah, this took 9 months to get here.
And you didn't get to see it until it showed up?
Nope, then we put it together. I put it together. my dad.
Yeah, but this isn't like IKEA. I mean, this is a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had a skylift in here with my dad, Charlie, who's my partner, and I assembled this. And then I went back through and got all the plumbing and stuff hooked up to it. And then,
good God.
So, yeah, and then my cousin's fiance is the one that did all the steam lines, and we did the water lines to it and everything. And
so you built all of this. Well, that's
I put this together.
We put it together.
This was
build
a puzzle.
it. But
this is a puzzle. But.
Yeah, but still, I mean, this is like highly, you know, you're not just putting a widget.
Right, yeah, I mean, I could have built a bomb, pretty much what I could have done. I mean, still under pressure, it does become like
it is a bomb, right?
Yeah, it becomes a pressure cooker bomb.
So now when you got this, obviously you've never used one before at this scale.
No, I never had.
So was there a curve for you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How long did that curve last? Good year or so?
Yeah. I'd say the first vodkas and stuff I put out they needed a little bit more refining.
Right.
And the more I was in the industry, kind of talking to people and being around these people, you get a lot of help.
Yeah, but this is amazing. Like that's like getting the ultimate toy.
Yeah.
In a degree, because you could make anything within this line. Yeah. Through this.
The only thing is like just having enough to fill this, because you need 500 gallons. So I got a little over 100 gallons of cider there. Like I'm gonna do that on 25 gallons still. Right.
Did you find the scale was pretty much, because you were already making this through a makeshift system?
Right, no, well, it wasn't even makeshift. Mine, I mean, I still have it, it's over there, I'll show you.
Oh my God, dude, it's a baby one. It's just a baby still.
Yeah, 1/20.
Yeah, this is like what
Yeah, this is what I started on. This was the original pot from my dad's house 8.5 years ago.
Dude, at some point you should put this upstairs and make a little plaque. And
I still use this. This way.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah,
okay, I didn't realize.
Actually, I got 25 gallons of apple shine in there. I gotta.
So when you're making a new product, is this kind of like the experimental?
Yeah, and I'll do like my gins on it, because gins are more of a slower sell. So I'll do it on this one. So I only do like 70 bottles of gin at a time.
Right.
Well, and this is actually the original tower. This I probably would put upstairs and be like, there's the original tower.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot more rudimentary than what this was. And this was an upgrade.
This is like the start of this entire Ellicottville Distillery business right here.
Yeah.
Right? That's a big deal, man. Yeah. That's awesome. And so you went from that, I mean, the scale difference almost has to be seen.
I didn't even go take a class or anything. I just saw one other one in action, and I just thought, all right, that's kind of what I got to do. And then I never used steam before. That's just like a direct propane heat. Like that's a steam jackets on there, and figuring that out. Like we got an 800,000 BTU boiler in here.
Were you nervous?
Oh no, I just made sure I was here by myself. So if anything happened, it was just me that knew about it. So. And there's quite a few of those stories that only I know about. So.
Dude, yeah, because you're like,
yeah. All right, let's just shut it down today. We're
done.
Yeah.
That's intense, man. The amount of pressure that you're dealing with here. And,
oh yeah,
you know. Oh my God. So how many years would you say you were doing this before you made the leap to?
I was doing that. I was using that. So that was 2011. We got this in 2015, so that was 4 years before I moved up to this. And I had that, so I used just that rudimentary tower for the first 3. Then I bought this tower, because this is pretty much an exact replica of what that is, except this is just 1/20th the size.
Gotcha. It's just bigger scale.
Right, and that's like kind of what it all boils down to, is it's just knowing your volumes and everything, and then knowing what you just do from there. So.
But dude, I mean, this is fascinating to me that, you know, this is, it's not like there's 10 guys working this. This is you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so you start. So this is. I'd asked you if this is kind of your experimental still.
It's still R&D.
You figure it out, right? And then we're gonna scale it, and then everything goes through these.
And anything like big production-wise goes through the big one. Anything with the grain and stuff. I mean, we do barrels at a time. You know, I try to get everything to 500 gallons. It's just it's easier than trying to do, because I can do 500 gallons once as opposed to like I got to use this still 4 times to do 100 gallons of cider.
Sure,
so.
sure. Now, where do you store it? You keep everything here, just stored?
Yeah, I mean, everything's kind of out the door.
You bottle here too?
Yep, that's my bottle right there behind you. A little forehead.
Oh, dude, I love this. So, we did Merit Winery, and Bill was telling me, see, but I love this stuff. This is how I built my business. This is how you're building your business. Bill was like, man, we were hand labeling and hand bottling.
Oh, I still hand label.
I
got a labeler upstairs. I don't like it. That was, again, from the original partnership. I never liked it.
You just wanted to.
Right, so I mean, I just hand label everything.
That's awesome. And that's really cool to know, actually, that every bottle we get.
Yeah,
so
it's either me or somebody that, helps me out. So.
Right, but I mean, it's hand labeled.
I mean, we hand cork it, too. We don't have a corker.
You do. Oh, my God. But this is the type of business that these businesses now, no matter what industry it is, our generations are really making this type of small batch, like custom, and we respond as consumers. This is what we respond to. Right. I think we're so sick of being fed like mass marketed garbage that when you see a business where the owner is bottling, labeling, R&Ding, distilling.
Yeah, and I'm here every day. Like I'm tending bars two days a week in here too.
But
so.
That really says a lot about you. It says a lot about the business. Now, so these are your what?
So the middle one's the mash tank.
Okay.
So if I'm using grain, I'll start there in the middle.
Okay.
And so generally it's 1,000 pounds of grain, 400 gallons of water. And what you do is you cook it, and you take that up to so for corn you got to have to 190 degrees. For any other base grain, you got to go up to 158 degrees. And then you hold it there for a little bit, and then what you do is you cool it down. And as you heat it up, it breaks the starches and the grains down into simple sugars that yeast can eat to make alcohol.
Okay.
So it's all just like a conversion.
Okay.
And then you drop the temperature, get it down to 85. Pitch your yeast, and then your yeast will start to eat the sugars to make alcohol. So basically what we're doing is we're making beer or we're making wine, and then we take it to the next step and strip the alcohol from either those beers or wines.
Okay.
And then the fermenters, so when you get done here, you'll pump it into the fermenters, and then this will go for 4 to 5 days where the yeast is just eating the alcohol. And that just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of temperature regulation.
Yeah, but you have to you, as a distiller, you have to stay on this constantly, correct?
Yeah.
Every batch is going to have a variable?
A little bit,
yeah.
Like whether or not it gets done in 5 days or 6 days, or if the yeast is kicking all right, or if I got it too cold on a pitch of yeast, you might add a little bit of shock. You got to add some yeast nutrient back to it.
And isn't that the value of the business, though, too? I mean, this is where you get the small batch, one distiller. There's so much beauty in that, because ultimately, this is a maker's business. It doesn't matter if you're making chairs, or you're making whiskey, or you're making bourbon, this is a maker's business. So this is made through your skill, through your knowledge, through your experience, and out the door, it starts and ends with you.
Yeah.
And so that's the craftsman.
Right.
The whole legacy of this business is really built here. So as you scale, and maybe
that's what scares me, is if I do get to that point and I got to hire somebody, whether that quality is going to go away.
Dude, this is why I do this.
So that's what scares me the most. I can have people run a bar and stuff like that. That's all right.
Right.
Plenty of people do that. Just this here, I got to keep the quality the same. This scares me the most, and I don't know who I could ever trust to do this.
My biggest. This is it. And this is what you brought to the table when they first called you, right? Or did you develop this after, or you already had it in your repertoire from your parties at home?
This one actually no. I went to the grocery store because I liked cooking originally.
Oh, you do?
Well,
dude, when you start food.
Yeah, let's not go there.
There you go. The health department.
But I like fooling around with flavors and herbs, and but I did fool around with it, with roommates and stuff. So I kind of just brought some ideas that I had.
Right.
And
so we've got
thought they worked here.
Part vodka.
So vodka, then we have some pineapple.
Nice.
So we make a lot of our own simple syrup. So this is a jalapeno simple syrup. Put a little bit of that in. Put a little bit more of this in.
You just kind of let her roll, don't you? Just whatever she's.
We just did this, so it was like 4 or 5 of us. I've been doing
Yeah, that's what's nice about this new winter menu. Like, a group of us came out here, and everyone just brought all their ideas to the table, and we had, you know, we probably created like 25 new drinks all together, and so we were all passing them around, and everyone gets a sample, and we made a list, so we got the ones that everyone liked, and so it was fun.
Yeah,
it was like a
really nice,
collaborative thing, and
you're developing like a. There's probably going to be like a standardized seasonal menu, and then you'll have your play menu.
Right.
You know what I mean? To change it up.
Well, that's why, like, there was some good ones, but like, what drinks are going to make the menu? Otherwise, it would be a booklet of drinks. So then we're like, we can use the ones that didn't as all our specials for the rest of the winter. And
sure. So, do a lot of people just kind of come out and say, hey, just make me something?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
They're like, what do you think? 'Cause, you know, and I'll ask, at least, like, give me a spirit you like, and...
Right. And there's no better way to promote your brand than having, you know, a bar like this.
Right.
So
yeah, our drinks are a little bit, like, you know, unique, and try and do some different things with them.
You know I gotta try this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is fantastic.
Like it?
Holy crap. That is really good.
That's the heart warmer.
Yeah, this almost you want a bottle.
Right, well, a lot of people have asked for our, if they can buy our simple syrups and stuff.